Power 7 Podcast. What up? Good morning. Another blessed morning. Happy to be alive. Happy to be moving and grooving. And once again, I want to say, be blessed and feel blessed. If you got 2 arms, 2 legs, and 1 head, to get out here and make it happen for you and yours, whether you like what you're doing or you don't. Because you're able to do it and you've been blessed to be able to do it. This is the Power 7 Podcast. Almighty Nicodemus back again for another episode of the Power 7 Podcast. Today's topic, which is interesting because today's topic has to do with the whole thing, Monique and her son. I don't really follow them. I don't follow Monique. I don't follow her son. I was trying not to do anything pertaining to her because of last week I did a couple episodes and one of them included her. And this one is based off of people's reaction to her reaction to her son's video. Her son made a video about how he doesn't speak to her. She had a response to it. Like I said, I didn't look at none of them. A lot of times when it comes to that, because I've done an episode before where I talk about branding and what people's brand may be. And to me, it seems over the past few years, this type of thing, from her going on the Cat Williams, from her getting into a video, from her asking people to boycott Netflix, it seems like her brand is popping up on the video and doing some drama, whether it's family drama or some business drama. It seems like this is her brand. So I'm not sure whether I believe her or her son. They both to be in on this. Because like I said, this is her brand, but I don't know. I don't send them Christmas cards. They don't send me none. We don't talk on the phone. We don't visit each other's homes. So I don't know if this is real or not. But the thing is, what I see is I see a lot of people that are reacting to her video. And it's not about, it's the reaction that I'm not liking. Because it's people saying things like, this is a typical boomer Generation X response. So whatever her response was, I guess Monique's is basically like, I put food and shelter and gave you this and gave you that. So you hear a lot of people responding, this is typical gaslighting from Generation X or boomers. They'll gaslight you. And, to all those people, listen, I don't know what your childhood was. I'm not sure. Sorry if you did have a bad childhood experience and your parents were not the best parents. Sorry. It's messed up for those of you who went through that. But then I'm like, there's some of you who I believe are just spoiled, obnoxious adults. And your parents probably did give you everything. Probably did make sure you were good. Probably did try to make sure you got a good education. Probably gave you everything you fucking asked for. And now you're a grown adult and you're like, I didn't need that stuff. All I wanted was a hug. You probably got that shit too, but you were spoiled. They spoiled you. And now you're an adult who's spoiled. And you want more and it wasn't enough. And like I said, that's some of y'all. Some of y'all probably got true pain. And another thing I want to ask some of you cats out there, consider the source. Consider what your parents went through. Consider what your mother and father may have been raised as. Maybe they weren't raised with both parents. Maybe they were raised by grandparents. Maybe they had a hard upbringing. Because 9 times out of 10, what parents try to do is they try to make up for the things they didn't have when they were growing up with their children that they have now. And depending on what they value more as a kid is probably what you're going to get as an adult. As a kid, not an adult, as a kid in your upbringing. So if your parents grew up poor as hell, you know what I'm saying? They probably, and lived in a bad neighborhood or all of that, they're probably trying to not do that again. don't know because you're not considering the source. You're just looking at it from me. You're not even probably thinking about what your parents went through and what type of parents they were raised by and what type of parents they had, the grandparents that raised their parents. You understand what I'm saying? People use what they have, and what they've got, and they try to implement their own things into stuff when it comes to raising kids. And maybe some of y'all parents didn't have those emotional tools. Half of y'all look up therapy terms. Emotional tools is a therapy term. Because I know a lot of y'all posting stuff on the internet ain't therapists, but y'all love posting therapist words like narcissist and gaslighting. Why don't you look up emotional tools? Maybe a lot of our parents didn't have the emotional tools to give you some of those things. It happens. And so for people to get online and talk shit like that, man, it's irritating for me. Because it's like, damn, man, your parents probably worked with the best of what they had. And you're not going to give them no grace. You don't want to give your parents no grace. You're not going to show them no mercy. You're just going to be like, oh, they just bad. They just did us. Oh, you try to talk to them. And, they using what they have. And they probably thought they did the right thing. And it's not gaslighting your stupid ass. It's telling you, listen, I gave you this. I thought I was doing right. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're going to feel that way because they probably don't have the tools that you want them to have. And this is another thing. When it comes to these generations, I remember when I was younger and my auntie, or even sometimes my pops, or my relatives, they would talk about us. They would talk bad on. They just walk around here. They listen to all that punk music, and they just pants all big and hanging off the ass. And, I went through I used to hear that from my older generation, from my parents, and my aunties and my uncles and whoever else, right? And I remember one day I was on Facebook and I seen people my age, my generation, my group, my age group, talking about kids now. And I had gotten around that time, I would do it. And I was like, damn, I sound just like my family, my parents. And I remember how I felt when I was younger, when they did that to me. And now I'm looking at a younger generation. They're just doing the same thing that we did or they did to us. Now they're doing it to the older generation. They're doing the same thing. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And the thing is, we talked about it amongst ourselves a lot of times. Sometimes you would hear it in rap lyrics. This in the older generation, like y'all don't understand. But that was our platform. That was our language that we were speaking to each other. But now we all share the same platform and see a lot of the same gripes. So I just want to tell all you cats out there that don't want to give y'all parents no grace, and don't want to give them no mercy, especially if you did have a good childhood and you still want to cry and complain talking about you were getting gaslit. Think about this. Consider the source and remember, you're going to be in that situation and your kids may be online or be talking about the same type of crap about you. Think about it. And you're going to want them to show you some grace or some mercy because you're going to be thinking, I did the best I could. I was trying to do better than my parents was, and it didn't work out. It's just one thing to think about. And once again, it's your boy, the Almighty Nicodemus, Power 7 Podcast. Peace.